Shares of Nvidia sitting out the tech rally today. You can see they were down about 1.33%, but they closed well off the lows. That's after a report by The Information said the company's upcoming Blackwell chips are having issues with overheating. Nvidia reports third quarter earnings after the bell Wednesday. We'll break down the results here on Overtime as soon as they're out. Well, joining us now is Melius Research Head of Technology Research, Ben Reitzes. His firm has a buy rating on Nvidia, $185 price target. Great to have you back, Ben. So I actually want to start with large language models. A lot of talk out there about the idea that LLMs might not have the gas for the long drive to make good on these valuations. Do you think that's true? And if it is true, how much of a threat is that to Nvidia's price and valuation here?
I don't think it's true, John, and great to be with you. We put out a piece today quoting quite a few folks that don't think it's true as well. Most prominently, Sam Altman, who basically, after that article came out, said there is no wall. But really, what I thought was interesting is Dario Amodei of Anthropic talked about how companies are working on ways to create more data, synthetic data, as well as data from scratch in these AI models that'll help train them further and scale them further. Not so coincidentally, Jensen put out a release on Thursday night talking about how Blackwell was ideal for scaling large language models from here. So in short, John, I think that the industry is going to figure this out, and we're still off to the races, especially with Blackwell.
Okay, now, closer to home timing-wise, about this possible overheating issue. When Nvidia is out ahead as far as it is performance-wise, and arguably they don't have a one-for-one competitor, if there are some issues with some number of these chips, how much does it matter?
Doesn't matter at all, John. If it's not this quarter, it's the next or the next. It's a lot like, when Apple used to have an issue with the iPod. And this dates me, I know. But going way back, they were the only game in town. There was always a production problem with the new iPod, but it always shipped eventually, and they crushed it. They had no competitor in music, if you remember. Even in iPhone, they had actually a little bit of a competitor there in Samsung. It still didn't matter. Their loyal customers came back. This is the enterprise or AI version of that. There's a line from 59th Street all the way up into Westchester County for this Blackwell. Think about that. And if they don't get it this quarter, they'll get it next or the next. And I think that we're going to be fine here. The cooling issue, I think that probably some customers are having that issue. It's such a complex chip. It takes so much engineering in your own architecture as well as with Nvidia. Somebody's bound to have problems that the information spoke with, but there's a line out the door. Keep your eye on the prize.
So there's a line out the door, but we also know investors, when it comes to earnings and initial reactions to earnings, tend to be a little bit more short-sighted, shall we say. So what should you be keeping in mind in terms of how all of this could shape the outlook, the uncertainty around it, the valuation near-term versus long-term for Nvidia, and what that means for the stock?
Yeah, it could create a little volatility. What could happen is that there's not enough production right now of Blackwell to kind of hit whispers and in the next quarter as well. I think investors should look through that. What I think Nvidia is going to do this time, maybe it's a one-time deal, but because of the product transition, I think they're going to give a little more detail than usual. If the quarter doesn't have as much upside as usual, they'll be a little more prescriptive about how much is pushed into the next and maybe even the next. And we're super optimistic. The street's looking for over 10% sequential growth from this quarter to the next. That could be conservative depending on the production because the buyers are lined up. But some of that probably is pushed into April as well as the quarter after that, July. But we think they'll talk about that sequential growth. Basically, what I think is that Nvidia is setting it up so over the next 6 quarters or so, they're going to demonstrate $5 plus in earnings power. As long as that's the case, we should be okay.